Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today, so windy, super windy, lots of rain. I got to play around a little bit this morning before it started raining, and it just got really bad. So I was driving to town, and I found a gentleman who just put in a brand new fence. He's getting ready to have some contractors tear out and take the old one away. I asked him if I could have what I can have, and he said, "You better hurry because the contractors are going to come in and get rid of it." So let's go tear that up. We'll head back to the garden. That is going to go in our little potting area. We just talked about that. Typically, I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking for freebies. I just got lucky that I drove by a neighborhood close by. Just pure luck. So anyway, let's go see if I can take that apart, and we'll bring it back to the garden and see what we can do. Okay, friends, it's been a day. It is so windy, so windy. I don't know if you could tell because I have a really good microphone for this one, but ignore this. This is in play. But we're getting close. We're getting so close. Look at this. This turned out really well. It's that old Western, that old mossy old look. I just love that. And we're just going to continue to play with it. It's just so cold, and it's windy, and it's rainy, and anyway, don't feel sorry for me. I chose to do it, but look, it's turning out so well. Our little potting shed is going to turn out just great. So a few things that we're going to do. I still need to frame out the windows. You can see there's some bad cuts right along, some jagged cuts. That's not important because it all gets hidden underneath. So no sense in wasting time on perfect cuts when it's all going to be hidden. But we're going to take the rest of the wood that's in the back of my truck, and we're going to continue to case out the bottom. So on the bottom, we'll have the front side that is just exactly the way it is. We'll frame out the windows. I'll probably do 45-degree angles on the corner, and then probably come back in spring, and we'll probably brush stroke those with white just to let it stand out a little bit. Sand it down just enough that there's a little bit of grit white in there, and it looks really. My enthusiasm really high, but I'm super cold. But you can start to see how it's going to turn out. And then someone had asked me, am I going to rearrange these? Yes, the little whimsical gate, it's going to come out. There's just not enough room. It looks forced, and it's too heavy. So we can reimagine that somewhere else in the garden. And now that I have kind of a good shape of where we're going with this, I'll put these bricks. The bricks will line up at the top of that 4x4 right there, and we'll level this all out. It'll all be cohesive. So the next time, if wind permitting, what I wanted to do on the front side was take the black felt that you use for your rooftop, and then you put it on there so that any sunlight or any imperfections you don't see through the cracks as expansion and contraction happens. But I can put it on the back side, it'll still work as is, and then we're going to use the same material for the front side to do in the back. So I think it's turning out so well. This is really going to come together. And those of you who have probably seen the other videos that we put together on this, it may not stand out, or you may not have a vision for the next step. And so that's one thing that Jessie tells me. She's like, I trust you, but I just never know. And if you can imagine, we'll use little curtains, burlap curtains on the outside. I won't use like curtain rods. What I typically do for all my other dwellings is I'll use old pieces of wood, tree stumps or tree branches, and use that. And then this morning I got in here and I finished this. So I just need to come back and paint it. But now I'm starting to kind of pull things together. You can see I've got little gaps in between. That's so that if any snow or rain kind of blows in here, if I'm watering and anything, any kind of water gets in there, it'll drain to the bottom. And then I got the top done. So I think the top will stay that color, and then we'll just kind of come back and we'll start painting up some of the other sides. I don't know what we'll do. We might do the white just to mirror this side. And I know we still have this one we need to paint up. But it really looks good. It's all coming together. This took a lot of time, but I was able to work under there when the rain was coming in. So that's fun. This is all turning out so well. I'll get rid of the 2 posts here. I'll leave the stump. I think I'll probably leave the wheelbarrow. I don't know. We'll play with it. We've got several months before spring, but we'll plant up some ground cover and some greens and hostas and stuff like that. And that'll really let that rust and some of these things pop. It looks heavy. It looks a little bit unkept, undone right now. And that's just because we're in the middle of the process. So if you're a new viewer, we'll get on it. It'll all come together as much of the garden always does. And I kind of move fast with things. I don't like to sit and wait for things to kind of play out, but I think this is turning out really well. If not for the rain and not for this wind, actually not for the wind, I could have kept going. But I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. So this little rubber tub here, this little trough, I want to implement it in here somewhere. I left the cracks in here. Some people use wire, and I'll exaggerate the cracks later when I can drill these in, but right now it's just kind of stationary. But we'll come through there, and I'm hoping to be able to add the trough underneath so that whenever I'm spilling soil over and whatnot, we can just get it right into that little trough. But we'll see. It may not work. It may be too heavy for that spot. It may be too big, too large. Yeah, the garden is pretty much shut down for the season. This is awful weather, but I enjoyed being able to just get out here. If the ground's not frozen and the air's not too bad, I can keep going for hours and hours and hours. My wife will come and tell me to get inside. So that's what she's doing now. So guys, we will see you on the flip side. Bye-bye now.